Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm doing good. It's March now. So far, feeling amazing. In a very good place mentally, so that's great. But today is a great day. It's gonna be a book haul part 2. A birthday part 2 book haul. The last time I did a video, it was my birthday book haul, the books I bought for myself for my birthday. In that video, if you watched, I let everybody know that that night, which was my birthday, I was doing a couple stream with my husband, and he had set up like this contest or whatever that for 3 subs he would buy me 1 book. And guess what? I don't know the math on how many people equaling how many books I got. At the end of the day, with the amount of subs that he got, I got 20 books, and that was really awesome. So thank you to everybody who subscribed to my husband. We had some people who who gifted so many subs to people, which was so nice. People who renewed their subs. I really appreciate it. I had fun that night. We played with our friend Veery. We played with our friend Fuzzy. I had fun with my husband. We played scary games. I think there should be clips of that on my Instagram. Okay, because some of them games were scary. But yeah, so now we're gonna get into the books that my husband bought me for my birthday, and I'm very excited. So let's get into it. So I am now the proud owner of the entire Hunter x Hunter manga collection so far, because you know it's not done. Didn't I do last time? I was like it was cash money. So god damn. Okay, let me get this together. Okay, so I have been buying the volumes. I don't remember when I started last year, but it was sometime towards the end of the year. And I was following someone on TikTok who had a complete collection. I was like, oh man, like I'm starting to see it in Barnes & Noble. I had just watched it earlier last year, really liked it. And I was like, it's crazy you have every single volume, and how did you get them all, you know? Because it didn't have the complete volume there. Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, pick up as you go. Pick up as you go. And I did. And my husband basically filled in all the blanks. So that was really great. I'm very excited. Now that it's completed, I need to read it. I know. I have to do stuff like that, you know. Can't just keep the TBR going. But this is like, what, 36 volumes? I have no clue where I'm putting this. So, like I said last time, I need to do a little bit better about, you know, thinking about that, because I literally have no idea where I'm putting these. Basically, all these books are kind of just like stacked randomly. That's my bad. But yes, I'm excited. I own all the volumes of Hunter x Hunter. So yes, I cannot wait to read it and let you guys know what I think. Next, this is one of the only other books that, before I get into the other ones, that is not nonfiction. So I asked for Homicide and Halo Halo by Mia P. Manansala. I read their first book, which was something in adobo, arsenic in adobo. I didn't realize that she had a second book coming out this year. I was actually surprised because I got the first book on Book of the Month. So I was surprised that they didn't put her second book on there, because I would have bought it immediately. And I just happened to see it on like Instagram. Someone posted about it. I was like, okay, I said I was going to keep reading this, and I'm excited. I do like the series. I know it's only book 2, but I've been started, I don't know what's coming up with me, but like I've just been reading a lot of cozy mysteries. Like right now I'm in the middle of reading, I'm still reading Vivian Chen's book. I started reading, oh, I don't remember her name, but it's like something's Guava Give. I'll put I think it's Carol Doyle. Carol Doyle. Anyway, I'm in a cozy mystery situation, and I'm really excited to get to this. I cannot wait. And look at the cover. I'm so excited. Alrighty, so now we're gonna get into all the nonfiction that I chose. Now, some of these were on my wish list, and some of these, as I was making my wish list of books Devin's gonna buy me for my birthday, which was the title of my Amazon wish list for him, I started to get suggested books that I hadn't heard of yet, so I asked for those. I am going to read you the inside of the book because, like I said, some of these were on my wish list and I didn't know what they were about, but I think the vast majority of the ones I was picking as I was going, and they sounded really they sounded like something that I would absolutely want to read. So we're going to read the inside so Connie gets it right for everybody. So I got Becoming Abolitionists, Police Protests and the Pursuit of Freedom by Derek Purnell. For more than a century, activists in the United States have called for police reform. However, from community policing initiatives to increasing diversity, none of the reforms have stopped the police from killing people every day. Millions of Americans continue to protest violence because these solutions do not match the problem. The police cannot be reformed. With groundbreaking political analysis and a narrative deeply informed by legal and historical academic research, Derek Purnell chronicles her own journey to embrace police abolition and challenges her readers to envision new systems that work to address the root causes of violence. Traveling from her home in St. Louis to Ferguson in South Africa, from Reconstruction to contemporary protests against police shootings, Purnell confronts the centuries of stolen freedom and shows that collaborative activism can make revolutionary change possible. On the course of this journey, she proves that the fight for social justice is also a fight for environmental justice, decolonization, disability activism, and feminism. A book that will forever change the way we talk about race, inequality, and policing. Becoming Abolitionist shows that abolition is not solely about getting rid of the police, but a commitment to secure a future of freedom, community, justice, and a possibility for all. Right off the bat, when I saw this, saw the cover, so this was suggested as I was putting another book into the wish list. Yes, absolutely. The title, the cover, the synopsis, absolutely something I want to read. I do agree. I'm not going to get into it in depth, but I do believe in defunding the police. I do believe in funding other things that will make the lives of those of us, at least in this country, it's the only place I've ever lived, I would hope that it could spread to the rest of the world, a lot less challenging, to put it that simply. So very, very excited to read this. Has anybody read this yet? I think this came out this year. I'm not sure. I did just recently see somebody post about it on Instagram, so I'm excited about that. I'm pretty sure it's somebody that I follow that has a podcast, so I definitely want to listen to it after I've read it. But if you have read this, I'd love to know what your thoughts are, and is this something that you'd be interested in reading? Please let me know in the comments. Next up, this is another one that popped up as I was looking at other things, and it was How All Politics Become Reproductive Politics, From Welfare Reform to Foreclosure to Trump by Laura Briggs. Today, all politics are reproductive politics, argues esteemed feminist critic Laura Briggs. Households are where we face our economic realities with decreasing wages, rising McJobs, and no resources for health or education or family care. Our households have grown ever more precarious over the past 40 years. This crisis, argues Briggs, fuels all others, from immigration to gay marriage, anti-feminism to rapidly rising inequality. Some of the blurbs are... Briggs concludes dramatically that in the United States, there is no outside to reproductive politics. Until governments and businesses pay attention to this, the crisis of our time will only deepen, and not just in the U.S. Briggs makes a convincing argument that reproductive labor is at the heart of all public conversation and policy, creating crucial new understanding for those who consider themselves informed on gender and politics. A critical and timely analysis for all reproductive justice activists and scholars. That was by Loretta Ross, Reproductive Justice and Introduction. Did I get that one? You never know. I asked for stuff and I don't remember what I'd be asking for. But yeah, as soon as I saw the title of this, when it popped up, I was like, oh, definitely something I think I want to read. Because as you know, I read a lot of books that are nonfiction that have to do with being pro-choice, reproductive rights, so on and so forth, because I am a pro-choice, pro-abortion person. Thank you very much. So I am excited to read this, and I should have a few more other books in here because, again, I already plumb forgot what I asked for, because that's how many books I have that are going to have to do with abortion rights. Can we talk about the fact that I literally, wow, God damn it, Connie. I'm sorry. Why was the next book, the book I just said, I wonder if I bought that one. Bitch, it's Reproductive Justice, an Introduction by Loretta J. Ross. God damn, I'm sorry. I'm going to take a moment to talk about the fact that I need to stop. Okay, I'm very excited about all the books I asked for and the books I got for myself for my birthday, but I probably need to take a few months break with the fact that I literally put this on a wish list. I just read the blurb and did not realize I asked for that. I have too many books on my TBR. Dear God in heaven. Okay, here we go. I asked for reproductive justice. Reproductive justice, women having power over our own bodies, is the crucial first step toward any democracy, any human rights, and any justice. Reproductive Justice is the first of its kind primer that provides a comprehensive yet succinct description of the field. Written by two legendary scholar activists, Reproductive Justice introduces students to an intersectional analysis of race, class, and gender politics in a period in which women's reproductive lives are imperiled. This provides an essential guide to understanding and mobilizing around women's human rights in the 21st century. What book did I just recently read? What was it? Without Apology? I'll try to put a thing up there or the title of it. So this definitely sounds like a more in-depth conversation to a book that I recently read at the beginning of this year, which was like under 200 pages. I still really loved it. It was a 5-star one for me. So very excited about this. Like I just said, I'm all about it. Very, very much an advocate for reproductive justice. So yeah, I'm excited. Has anyone read this? I don't know when this came out. It seems fairly new, but I'm excited. Some of the blurbs are, we need to not repeat the ugliness of the past. Our strategies need to be inclusive and intersectional, because when women of color and those most affected by reproductive oppression are free to make their own decisions about their health and their bodies, we all win. Very true. That is from Cecile Richard. She's the president of Planned Parenthood Federation of America. All right, I skimmed through the stack. I think this is the last abortion rights, reproductive justice book. And this is another one that I had not seen up until making the list. So I got new Handbook for Post-Roe Wade America, an essential tool for anyone worried about losing access to abortion in the US of A. The Complete Guide to Abortion, Legality, Access, and Practical Support by Robert Marty, an introduction by Amanda Palmer. So obviously, again, I'm going to want to read it based off the subject matter, but for some reason, I don't know why, but this cover really got me. And then I found out it was on Hoopla as an audiobook. I'm not the type to be able to do back and forth. Like I know some people can, no, I'm sorry, not back and forth, in tandem. I know there's some people who can read a book while listening to the audiobook at the same time. I can't do that. But this is such a short book. I'm pretty sure it's basically under 200 pages. I probably won't need to like have a moment where I put the book down and read an audiobook, but at least there's an option if I do want to. So very excited. The end of Roe versus Wade is coming. How will you prepare? New Handbook for Post-Roe America is a comprehensive and user-friendly manual for understanding and preparing for the looming changes to reproductive rights law and getting the healthcare you need by any means necessary. Activist and writer Robert Marty guides readers through various worst-case scenarios of a post-Roe America and offers ways to fight back, including how pregnant people are finding financial support, how pregnant people are using existing networks and creating new ones, and how, when required, people are working outside existing legal systems. She details how people are planning for emergencies, how organizing efforts are finding new strength, what to know about self-managed abortion care with pills and/or herbs, and how people are avoiding surveillance. The only guidebook of its kind, New Handbook for the Post-Roe America, includes chapters that cover the needs and tools available for pregnant people across the country. Boom. Very excited about reading this. Just like I mentioned with the book Without Apology, it definitely gave a lot of background on the kinds of things that activists did before Roe versus Wade became the law, and how, you know, it was kind of like an underground. I'm not talking about some of the doctors who were like butchering women, like the women and the activists and some of the doctors who were working underground to give abortions to women. Yes, there were risks, but there were risks that women were willing to take. And they talked about some of the ways that things began to be developed, conversations about the pill. It was very interesting. So it'll be interesting to read this too, because I think this is going to be, while we did talk about you know, what the abortion pills are in that book. Now, obviously, more conversations are being had, especially on TikTok, of showing people where they can find, like Plan B, not going to the pharmacy, where getting a prescription for these 2 pills that you could use, abortion pills that you can buy online. It's really important. I'm really hoping that, you know, I'm not going to come to see a time in which there is no access to abortion or healthcare that would provide for pregnant people, or people who do no longer want to be pregnant or don't want to be pregnant. I'm also seeing a lot of people, which I'm very excited about and I'm happy for, getting like their tubes tied, more doctors being willing to do that, which, as we know, a lot of doctors do not care that it's your body. The question is, what's your husband going to think? What about when you get married later and you want to have kids? And it's like, that's not, no, don't ask me that. If I ever decide to get that, don't ever fucking ask me that. That would piss me off. But anyway, excited about reading this. Next up, I got Prisons Make Us Safer and 20 Other Myths About Mass Incarceration by Victoria Law. I think this was another one that I saw on TikTok from a nonfiction, like, book talker that I follow. Author and journalist Victoria Law dissects the complicated history of mass incarceration by identifying the myths that propel, sustain, and maintain. Tackling this misinformation entrenched in tough-on-crime policies, public panic fueled by claims of crime and violence, and fear-mongering that perpetuates the criminalization of Black and Latinx people, Law demonstrates that without addressing race and racism, we cannot talk about mass incarceration, let alone dismantle it. Law has offered us a very important tool, her careful and accessible analysis or feminist approach, and her methodical demystification of widely held views about incarceration enable precisely the kind of understanding we need at this moment. That was a blurb by Angela Davis. Think you haven't fallen prey to the myths around mass incarceration? Think again. This is the book we need as movements sweep across the U.S., challenging injustices in policing and incarceration to show us our history, analyze our current policies, and chart the way forward. Very excited to read this. Victoria Law also wrote Resistance Behind Bars and was a co-author of Prisoned by Any Other Name. Ooh. Damn, that sounds really good. So, anybody read this? I don't think this is like super duper new, but I don't think it's super duper old. It had to be with like in the last 5 or 6 years, I think. So if anybody has read this, please let me know what your thoughts are. Very excited to get to this book. And lastly, I got Invisible No More, Police Violence Against Black Women and Women of Color. Black women, girls, and trans folks get locked up and shot down to, oh, my back! Let's try that again. So I put that one in my lap. I had a feeling that one was gonna fall. Anyway. By Andrea J. Ritchie. Very excited. Invisible No More is a timely examination of how Black women, Indigenous women, and women of color experience racial profiling, police brutality, and immigration enforcement, placing stories of individual women such as Sandra Bland, Rekia Boyd, Dejaria Becton, Monica Jones, and Maya Hall in the broader context of the twin epidemics of police violence and mass incarceration. It documents the evolution of movements centering women's experiences of policing and demands a radical rethinking of our vision of safety and the means we devote to achieving it. A vital contribution to our understanding of policing and criminalization, exposing how women, trans, and gender nonconforming people are targeted. Invisible No More is a must-read, the tool we need in this exact moment, by Dean Spade. Invisible No More deserves a standing ovation. The stories told here will haunt, inspire, and challenge you to reimagine justice by moving the experience of Black women and girls from the margins to the center, by Michelle Alexander, that was the author of The New Jim Crow. And Ritchie spans multiple centuries, nations, issues, and identity lenses to lay bare the effects of violent policing on women of color, by Rinku Sen, executive director of Race Forward. So very excited. This one's a little bit on the thicker side. You know, I've mentioned this before, like some nonfiction can sometimes feel like a textbook. So it may take me longer to read just because it's a little bit, is the word dense in terms of like words on a page? I don't know. But I'm very excited. You definitely got some pictures in here as well. So I'm very, very excited. Also have no idea where I'm putting any of these nonfiction books because I have some below, I have some over there. I have a whole shelf devoted to nonfiction books that I've actually already read out my living room. I need help. But yes, that was all the books that my husband got me for my birthday. Once again, I want to thank everybody who subscribed to my husband on Twitch. I really appreciate that. I mentioned their names earlier, and I may have missed some other people. One of the biggest people that gave subs as gifts was Fabled Beard Co. It's a company that my husband works for, where they sell beard oil and other like lotions and hair tonics and stuff. So I'll probably link their website down below too. They're awesome. The Wizard and the Princess, those are the owner and the creator. I really thank you guys for doing that. That was so kind and nice of you. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for everybody who, I don't know if anybody that I mentioned in the video who's on BookTube, if you guys came by and watched. If you did, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I had a fun night. I definitely stream with my husband sometimes. So if you ever, are interested in watching, I don't know, follow my husband and you can see when we're going to do streams together. We play scary games and Minecraft, and I really like that. And I need to get back into it because I'm trying to get some diamond tools because I would like to keep digging and fight the weird zombie people. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. What did you think about my book haul part 2 for the birthday? Are there any of these mostly nonfiction books, right, that pique your interest? Anything that sounds great? Any suggestions you guys have in nonfiction books you think I would like, please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for everybody who has subscribed to me. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. Thank you for those who are still following me, interacting with me in the comments. I really appreciate it. If you like the video, please like the video. And if you like it, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Follow me on some other platforms, let's talk. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.